Hi, I'm Shannon Gavin Johnson, the director of Legacy Museum on Main, and this is a brief moment in LaGrange's history. The evening of November 19, 1938 was dark and stormy in LaGrange. Around 10 p.m. on that Friday night, residents living off Young's Mill Road near Leonard Road heard a tremendous crash. Parker Knowles, a 54-year-old farmer, told the Sunday American that it sounded like the Day of Judgment had come. He thought the noise was caused by a bolt of lightning or maybe even an erupting volcano. Neighbors trudged out into the driving rain to find that a plane had crashed in a heavily wooded area. Knowles came upon the scene to find a man whose clothes were on fire. A sharecropper at the scene, Walter Jackson, was sent to call LaGrange for help from Joe Young's place, nearly a mile and a half away. The plane had encountered a heavy downpour over Troup County. The pilot had been circling the area, possibly attempting to find a field for an emergency landing. About 7 miles north of the city, the plane plowed into a wooded area, cutting a path of about 150 feet before bursting into flames. The impact was so jarring that one of the plane's 2 engines was hurled beyond the trees into a cornfield. The bodies of 6 of the plane's occupants were found amongst the burning debris, while 2 men were found alive: Second Lieutenant John D. Madre and the plane's radio operator, Private Joseph G. Nenartowicz. The men were taken to the City-County Hospital, where they both died a short time later. The plane was a Douglas B-18A Bolo from the Army's 99th Bomber Squadron. It left Mitchell Field in Hempstead, Long Island, New York, bound for Maxwell Airfield in Montgomery, Alabama. It was carrying 6 crew members and 2 passengers, all of whom were enlisted in the United States Army. Before his death, Nenartowicz, the radio man, was able to describe the incident to an Army official. "We were flying low to get under the ceiling. It was raining. Suddenly we hit a rough spot and bounced. Next thing I knew, the plane was plowing through trees. No mechanical defects as far as I could tell." The lack of mechanical defects was noted as the plane was new to the Army's fleet and had just recently been delivered to them. Not only did the foul weather cause the crash, but it also hampered the rescue effort. Young's Mill Road at the time was unpaved, and the area had received more than an inch of rain, making the road a muddy mire. Ambulances were unable to reach the crash site until early the next morning. After the news appeared in the LaGrange Daily News the following day, local curiosity seekers jammed the road. Some people even collected pieces of the wreckage as souvenirs until a team from Maxwell Airfield arrived to investigate. The remains of the flight crew were transported to Hammett and Groover Funeral Home on Church Street, which is now Pretty Good Books. News of the crash, deemed the worst tragedy in military aviation at that time, made front-page headlines in many national newspapers, including the New York Times. Those killed in the crash included pilot Robert K. Black of Meridian, Georgia, Lieutenant Robert R. McKechnie of Cleveland, Ohio, Lieutenant Alan M. Howery of Russellville, Tennessee, and Sergeant Harry T. Jones of Hempstead, New York. The passengers were Lieutenant James W. Stewart of East Orange, New Jersey, who was returning to his station at Randolph Field, Texas, and Corporal J. E. Galloway of Sulphur Springs, Texas, who was returning to his station in Dallas. Both Private Joseph J. Nenartowicz and Second Lieutenant John Madre died later at City-County Hospital. To learn more about harrowing accidents in LaGrange's history, visit Legacy Museum on Main. This has been a brief moment in LaGrange's history.